Hey guys, and welcome to today's vlog where I make steak and frites. Let's get into it. So first, obviously, we start off with some potato wedges and add some olive oil into it. Then we add some salt. It looks like I'm adding a lot, but I'm actually not. Then some garlic powder. And then some paprika. If you want, you can add some smoked paprika, but I just added some normal paprika. Then we're gonna give it a shake and a toss. There we go. Let's add this to the pan and give it some magic to spread it around. Now we have our sweet potato fries. First, we're gonna give it some olive oil. Just a nice drizzle, you know. Here I was gonna add smoked paprika, but I realized there was nothing in it. So, yeah. Anyways, we will go with the salt instead. And then some paprika. Then some garlic. Then some cornstarch, and then we just shake it up. Add it to the pan and give it more magic. Then we put it in the oven for about 210 degrees. Then we have some thin fries, and we're gonna start off with some olive oil as usual. Then we're gonna go off with some salt and then some paprika, and then our garlic, which I did not drop. Now we shake it up. There we go, and into the air fryer. Gotta spread it out a bit and then fry at 210 degrees. Now guys, for our chimichurri, we're gonna start out with some garlic. Chop it up real small and then add it into our bowl. Then we chop up some parsley, or you could use coriander, or both. Just gotta make sure we chop it up real small too. And then we add it into our bowl. And now for the seasonings, we're gonna start off with some chili flakes, about 1 teaspoon. Then we go off with some oregano, about another teaspoon. And then we have some black pepper, about 1/3 of a teaspoon, not much. Then we add some red wine vinegar, about 2 tablespoons. I'm using a teaspoon, that's why yeah. And then the last and most important, the olive oil. And then we add a lot of olive oil, like it has to submerge the whole thing. And of course we blend it up as always. And there we go, chimichurri. Then we move on to the garlic sauce. Of course we start off with some mayonnaise, about 2-3 tablespoons, like a lot. And then equal parts yogurt. If you want it thinner, you just add more yogurt. If you want it thicker, it'll be a bit more mayo. Then, of course, we gotta add the garlic. Now, you can blend up garlic, fresh garlic, or you can use oven roasted garlic, like me. So good. We just add a few cloves in there depending on how much garlic you really like, you know. I added about maybe 4 or 5 cloves. Then in the bowl, you just mash it up and blend it up, you know, just like that. Then we're gonna add some vinegar. You could also use some lemon juice. Add some salt and blend it up. And that is our garlic sauce. But I'm gonna add a bit of chimichurri into it, you know. You could also use normal parsley, but I added the chimichurri for some zestiness. There we go! And now on to our steak, our main dish. First we're gonna pat them dry and then add some salt. But you have to make sure you leave out the steak for a couple of hours before you start frying it. Pat the salt into the steak and flip it over and do the same with the other side. Now we are going to turn on our stove and put it on medium-high heat. Gotta make sure to add lots of oil. When it's warm, we will sear the fat first for about a minute just to give it that crust. Also be careful when doing this. Then we will start frying one side of the steak and make sure you press it down. After about 2.5 minutes, we will flip it over and then press down to make sure you get that crust. Now we will turn down the heat a lot and then add some butter and some crushed garlic. And of course some rosemary, fresh if you can, but yeah. Now we will baste the steak for about a minute or two. By the way, here are our fries. And here is peppercorn sauce made of butter, beef stock, salt, pepper, and cream. And now presenting steak and frites. So this is my dad's. 2 steaks smothered in peppercorn sauce with fries and some chimichurri on top. And this is my mom's plate with 2 steaks, 1 smothered in peppercorn sauce and 1 with chimichurri and of course the potato wedges. And finally, my plate with a steak and peppercorn sauce with a side of sweet potato fries sprinkled with parmesan. Steak and frites, let's go. you.